Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. We got breaking news coming out of the Pacific Ring of Fire, specifically Kamchatka, Russia. Quakes in various places. Kamchatka, Russia, Hawaii, and Japan, you are in a tsunami warning. So if you guys are catching this, you've got time. Get away from the shoreline. We're going to break that down so you can see specifically. So I was minding my business here on what do we got here? Tuesday night. This news is brought to you by my wife. She's like, hey, we got a big earthquake, 8.7. So kudos to Hillary for calling this out. And that's Hillary with one L, as she would like to say. She's the nice one. One L, not two L's. Quakes in various places. Jesus. Again, we're looking at the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia, and the experts have upgraded this tremor to an 8.7 on the Richter scale. So you know this means business when they upgrade it from 8 to 8.7. This is from open source intel. Let's pull this open. A massive 8.7 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued tsunami warnings and watches across multiple regions. Tsunami waves have already hit parts of Kamchatka, flooding coastal areas, including the village of Severokurilsk. A wave of about 13 feet was recorded in Yelizovsky's district. How's that for Russian? Tsunami warnings and watches are in effect for Hawaii, Japan's Pacific coast, Alaska's Aleutian Islands, California, Oregon, and Washington. I would think South America is going to be included in some of this at some point. I mean, I would guess, the northwest coast of South America. Significant structural damage is reported. And I've tried to pull some of these down, but everybody's watching it right now, and you just cannot even look at it. You can't get a feed to get on it to view it. Authorities are urging coastal residents in affected zones to evacuate immediately and move to higher ground. We got more updates to follow. Also, this is going to be hitting the area in Japan, which experienced a lot of nuclear sewage once upon a time. I'm sure that's going to help situation. Specifically, we'll get a look at this. Now, we got follow-up tremors. In fact, now they've upgraded it to 8.8. Another tenth of a magnitude. So, for whatever reason, this one seems to be a little bit stronger than most. Again, Hawaii, you're in a tsunami warning. The east coast of Japan, Tokyo appears to be a little bit covered because they're inland. They've got a little peninsula blocking that. But I would think something along here. Sendai, that was like ground zero from the big earthquake in Japan a few years ago. That's where all the nuclear waste was located. So this area may take on a direct hit. Interesting stuff. But just to give you an idea, I'll let this fill in. That's where I would think somewhere like Peru, Chile, maybe Colombia, Ecuador. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. We'll see. It'll be hours before it gets there. But that will give you a feel for the whole Pacific Ring of Fire where this has taken place. And here's the from Raw's alert. We've kind of shown that already, but just to give you an understanding of how they expect the waves to ripple off of this event. Here is the official update. Emergency management in the state of Hawaii. Tsunami warning. Effective 2:43 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. 8.7 magnitude. Again, that looks to be upgraded to 8.8 by the USGS. A tsunami has been generated that could cause damage along coastlines of all islands in the state of Hawaii. Urgent action should be taken to protect lives and property. A tsunami is a series of long ocean waves. Each individual wave can last 5 to 15 minutes or more and extensively flood coastal areas. The danger can continue for many hours after the initial wave as subsequent waves arrive. Tsunami wave heights cannot be predicted, and the first wave may not be the largest. Tsunami waves efficiently wrap around islands. All shores are at risk no matter which direction they face. Interesting. The trough of a tsunami wave may temporarily expose the seafloor, but the area will quickly flood again. So that's one thing I've seen several people talk about. If you see a massive amount of water draw away from the shoreline and you're standing there on the beach and you watch that happen, you need to run. Don't sit there and see how cool it is and want to take pictures of it or a video. Get out of there and get to high ground because a big wall of water is coming. Extremely strong and unusual near-shore currents can accompany a tsunami. Debris picked up and carried by a tsunami amplifies its destructive power. Simultaneous high tides or high surf can significantly increase the tsunami hazard. First wave expected 7:17 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. That's July 29, 2025. Further messages will be issued hourly or sooner as conditions warrant. The threat to Hawaii has passed. And again, the Japan Meteorological Agency has issued a tsunami warning for the east coast of Japan. I've not seen data on when that's expected, but I'd go to X, check that out. And that's what we got for now. I'm sure we're going to be reporting on this further. Again, I had no clue this was going on. I was working on a post for the 9th of Av and the significance of the 9th of Av. So that'll be probably coming out tomorrow or the next day. And any other updates we have from this earthquake. Again, this is an 8.0. And for those of you who are not familiar, we typically only cover 7.0 or greater. The number is 6.0 or less earthquakes is just exploding in number. And, you know, I could spend all my time doing that. That's not what this website is about. It's about looking at the big picture. You know, what are the conditions? What does planet Earth look like according to the Bible before the return of Jesus Christ? And I think we're seeing it. I think we're in the end times. It's what I believe. I've spent the last 15 years doing this. And birth pangs, we're getting closer together. Things are getting more intense. And you can look at all these little categories, different types of examples, things that are recorded in the Bible of what the earth, what the symptoms of the planet would be, for lack of a better term, prior to Christ's return to this earth. Now, I'm of the opinion he will get us first. He will get those who believe in him, the bride, the church, in the resurrection and the rapture. Will be followed by a 7-year period, and then he will physically return with those who believe with him and establish his kingdom for 1,000 years on this planet, and will rule and reign from Jerusalem on into eternity. Be a little hiccup in there once Satan's let out of his pit, his jail, but pretty much game over at that point for him. Anyway, thought I'd share this. Again, 8.8 continues to be upgraded. Big stuff. Appreciate you guys following along. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.